live, we are live. Good afternoon, good evening, good morning, depending on where you are tuning in from this lovely afternoon, Saturday afternoon. We are Mabamba Live, and we are offering a live broadcast of a Mabamba Swamp Shoebill excursion. And our attempt is to test some of our newest audio-visual equipment, as well as just to have a fun time together this afternoon. So just quickly before we dive into the tour, would like to know if you can hear us. So if you can hear us loud and clear, just give us a thumbs up in the chat, then we'll know we're good to go, and we can proceed with our broadcast. So if you can hear us loud and clear, just give us a big thumbs up in the comment section, and then we'll know everything is super, then we can go on with the trip. Well, thank you all for joining us, and we hope you have a lovely time with us this afternoon. Okay. I get the feeling that you can hear us loud and clear. I just wanted to confirm that you can hear us loud and clear. Makanda Joshua says we should increase on the volume. Let's see how to do that just briefly. As we do that, Hello. Is that better? Okay, we'll try to move. Makanda, if the volume is still low, please let us know in the chat box, and we'll try to adjust our end here. Okay, so welcome to Mabamba Live, and once again we said this is going to be a live broadcast of a Mabamba Swamp Shoebill excursion. Our attempt is definitely to test some of our newest audio-visual equipment, but also just to bring you a beautiful time from the comfort of your home, comfort of your smartphone, comfort of your computer or tablet. Where are you tuning in from? Someone says that is too loud now. Let's just turn it down a bit. It's quite confusing. Some people say it's too loud, some people say it's too quiet. So I guess we'll try to go with what we have working now, and in case the complaints do come up later, we will try to fix something. Okay, yeah, so we wanted to know, where are you tuning in from? Currently we are just paddling along this papyrus maze, and in a few minutes time we will begin the trip in search of the Shoebill, but also just to find out if we can see a few more of the many feathery treasures that form this Ramsar site and this important bird area. So, well, I'll just quickly introduce the team. Leading the tour is Davis. Davis, you could just turn a bit. Yeah, so you'll see Davis in a few. And on camera A, we have Brian, who you might not be able to see, but he will be one of the two eyes that we'll be using on this trip. And then on camera B, we have another Brian. This is Brian O. There's a thumbs up. Perfect. Yeah, so Brian A and Brian O will be bringing us the picture from the wild, and Brian O will also be bringing us some drone shots, just to give you some bird's eye view from this particular location where we're at. Then on the second boat right ahead, we do have Charles, who you probably have already seen in the chat. Charles will be moderating the chat. So if there are any questions, any issues, if you can't hear us, just drop it in the chat, and then Charles will be able to pass that on to us to handle technically. Then also in that boat ahead is Dixon. Dixon is in charge of our still photography on this excursion. So at the end of the excursion, you will be able to see some footage from us, but also some still images as captured by Dixon. And then there is myself. Yeah, and then there is myself, the chatterbox, Jonathan Benaya, who will be the voice of this particular broadcast, but also handling the technical side of things and basically producing this whole broadcast this afternoon. Yeah, so yeah, once again, we see, who is that? Mutunji. Mutunji is tuned in live from Kisoro. Wow, thanks for joining us. We hope you have a good time. Yeah, I see Uganda Waka is saying big up to the entire team. Thanks, bro. We hope you have a good time as well. Okay, so as you continue to let us know where you are tuned in from, would like to run a weather update from a few of the locations around the country. Where we are in Mabamba, actually, we have quite decent weather this afternoon, so we're really hopeful to some great sightings. It's just it's a bit cloudy, but not too scary. So as we run the weather forecast, please do let us know where you are tuning in from. And one other thing, you can let us know if there are any birthdays in the chat box. Would really want to know, and we want to celebrate you in a very special way. We'll be back in a very few minutes. Okay, welcome back to Mabamba Live. We will be heading deep into this papyrus maze in a few minutes. But we just want to pick up on some of your comments. I see Tony is tuning in from Kasese. I see Brian, Safari Guide, Safari Live Moments is tuned in from Entebbe. Thanks for joining us. Uganda Waka is watching from Kampala. Beautiful. Thanks for letting us know where you are watching from. Yeah, so we right now invite you to hop onto the back of our canoe. In a few minutes, we'll go deep into this important bird area, which is also a famous Ramsar site. And on this particular escapade, we are in search of the Shoebill. We have the crew split into two. So Davis will be the tour leader, as you've seen him, and he will be speaking to us in a few minutes. But let me just quickly take us through a few rules and guidelines just to help us have a good and respectful engagement together. So just a few rules to follow. You are all most welcome to engage with us in the comment section, but please endeavor to keep it respectful. Then rule number 2 is quite simple. Our best part of the excursion is to be able to respond to your questions real time. Now, if you are doubting whether we are live, be sure to drop your comment in the comment box or drop a question in the comment box, and Davis, who is a seasoned guide, will help us answer some of those questions at some point during the excursion. Then finally, if for some reason you can't hear us, please let us know in the chat box. And then last but not least, let's have fun. All right, then I just want to remind you that we are indeed in the bush. We actually are quite far away from what you'd call human civilization. So we must run a disclaimer that in case our internet connection drops or in case we have some technical glitches, please bear with us. We will work as fast as possible to get back online and offer you an exciting trip, an exciting escapade, as close as intimate to what we are experiencing out here physically. All right. And maybe... All right. I had to keep quiet a bit. There was a boat that was just going past. Okay, so this particular trip and the discussion we're going to have today is going to center around 3 main topics, and that's conservation, tourism, and digital. In light of conservation, we're hoping to shine the light on the need to conserve. In terms of tourism, we're all tourism practitioners, so we're here to promote. And then in light of digital, we are all just really passionate about the use of film and the use of the internet to promote destinations, but also to highlight key messages like conservation messages. Yeah, so enough with my chattering. I'd like to hand us over to Davis, who, before he sets us off, will give us the usual client briefing, and then he will instruct the boats to begin sailing off. So over to you, Davis.
Yes, good afternoon. You're all welcome on this live. As Jonathan said earlier, my name is Davis. We shall be going into the swamp today looking for the shoebill as our target, and other species as well. So just a few do's and don'ts while we are in the swamp. We should maintain maximum silence. We also do not litter in the swamp. And we all have equipment with rain gear as well, just in case, as the weather is unpredictable. So we are all good and set. And as for the rest, we'll discuss as we move through the swamp. We can begin our journey.
Okay, Davis, before we move, there are 2 questions in the chat box that I see that might actually kick off our adventure. I don't know if you'd want to take those already.
Please.
The first one is from Uganda Waka. And Uganda Waka is asking, what is special about the shoebill stock?
Okay. First of all, it's no longer classified under stocks It is now in its own family. It's now just shoebill. It's no longer classified as a stork because it is actually closely related, more closely related to pelicans as opposed to storks. But what makes it special is it's a one-of-a-kind bird that you will not find elsewhere outside Africa. It's an African endemic, first of all. Can't be found on any other continent. And it is area specific, found in swamps. Also, the appearance and this physique of this bird. No bird appears or looks as it does, as we shall try to look for and show you as we head to the swamp.
Okay, perfect. Then just one more question. This was from Moses. Moses is asking, how many shoebills do we have in Mabamba wetland bay system?
In Mabamba wetland, the assumption is we have about 8 pairs, which is about 16. But the number could be growing because as we've seen recently, we've been having new chicks. So the number could be growing.
Okay, perfect. So yes, keep those questions coming. We don't want to keep you waiting. We need to get on with the excursion. So let us move. Davis, over to you.
We may begin. Tandika, tandika. Boss.
stop and Davis.
Yes, if you may stop for a bit. There is a malachite kingfisher. We may not have been able to show that, but it's a very small kingfisher found near water, especially marshy areas. It's one of the small kingfishers we have. And then in front of us on the boat, we have the purple heron that is seated on the grass. About to take off.
Davis, do you want to stop and respond to some questions?
Yeah,
there are so many questions that are flocked in.
Okay. Yes.
Yeah, I thought we might be overwhelmed at some point, so we could do a few and then continue.
Okay.
There is the heron you're talking about. All right. Let me see. What question can we start with? Okay. So African Magic Wings is asking, what protocols can be taken to acquire and breed a shoebill on a private wetland ecosystem?
First of all, you need to first understand the laws governing the wildlife within your country. For example, here, before you conduct any sort of business concerning wildlife, you need to consult the authority, which is Uganda. You need to contact the authority, which is the Uganda Wildlife Authority, and seek for a permit that will permit you to acquire the license to breed. But because of how sensitive the shoebill is, it may be a challenge. I don't know if that will answer the question.
I believe so. Derek is asking, besides Mabamba, where else can the shoebill be found?
In Uganda, the shoebill can be found. The assumption is it can be found in all the wetlands in the country, which is not the case. So we have specific areas like this Mabamba wetland swamp. There is Makanaga, another extension of Mabamba. We have in Murchison Falls as well. We also have them in the central part of Uganda around Lake Choga. We also have them in Queen Elizabeth. National Park. So there are so many areas that they can be seen in the country, but Mabamba to date still stands as the most reliable site to see the shoebill.
Okay, then finally for now, Amanya Robert is asking, what can be the predators of the shoebill? I guess he's asking, what predators does the shoebill have?
Oh, predators of the shoebill. I don't think it does have predators, but the young does. The young shoebill and the eggs, the shoebill eggs, do have. They are predated on by monitor lizards. The raptors may hunt for the chicks. Crocodiles may hunt the chicks if they do find them. So, but the shoebill as a shoebill, I don't think it has any predators now.
Okay, and I just noted Davis did talk about a shoebill chick. Now, you know what's really cool? A couple of weeks back, we were on this very swamp, and we were able to witness one of the newest shoebill chicks in the world. And
Yeah.
we are so glad to bring you that footage of the shoebill. At the time, it was just one week old. So you could actually count this as exclusive footage that not everyone gets to see. So get your headphones really close. And of course, just keep your eyes on the screen. We're just going to play some footage from a while back of this particular shoebill chick that was just about a week old at the time. Enjoy. Okay, I hope you enjoyed that. So I guess we can go on with Excursion. Back to Davis.
Okay. I think we may continue. Boss, you Oh, just before we set off, to the left of the boat on the water edge is a African Jakana. Have the African Jakana with a white, oh, there it goes, flying off. We sometimes called the Jesus bird. Okay, here's one to the right. With a blue frontal shield, all very brown wings, belly, long black legs, white cheeks. So it looks like it's walking on water, which is why it is sometimes referred to as a Jesus bird. Okay, we can get going. Shoebill's left of the boat on the papyrus, white cheek, yellow throat, blue eyebrow. This is the blue-breasted bee-eater, found in marshy areas. Not to be confused with the little bee-eater, which lacks the white chicks.
And once again, guys, we are seeing all your questions, but we will have another stop where Davis will take a couple of more questions. But we need to get sailing and try to search for this great bird, so do bear with us. We will definitely come to the questions at some point. Thanks again for joining us. If you just jumped on, would like to know where you are tuned in from, so do let us know in the comments section below. Have a good time. This is Mabamba Live.
1 o'clock of the boat. It's Jewish. We have a black and white bird perched in the middle of a papyrus. Two bands. Upper broken breastband, one lower complete band. And this is the pied kingfisher, the male to be exact. They are told apart by the bands on the breast. The male has 2 bands, the female has 1. It appears this seat.
Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. Okay, that's right. I'm coming through. Welcome back, guys. We apologize for that technical glitch. As we did mention earlier, we are in the wilderness, so the network might not be as reliable as we would all wish. So in case we go off, please do bear with us. We'll try to go live again as soon as is practically possible. Yeah, so when we broke off, actually when the internet broke us off, we had a couple of questions in the chat. Unfortunately, they've gone missing because we've started a new broadcast. So please drop your questions in the chat box again in case you had earlier on. I'll try to remember a few that I'd noted earlier. There's a question from Amos Kagwa, and he's asking, would a shoebill fight a croc? Should the croc try to attack it? And what's the conservation status of the shoebill, I guess he means. What's the conservation status for the shoebill?
Yes. The shoebill, they are about between 5,000 to 8,000 in the world. So it is listed as vulnerable by IUCN. As regards to the shoebill and the crocodile, well, if it is a young crocodile, the shoebill will definitely overpower it. But if it is an adult, full-grown crocodile, unless the shoebill does not mind dying, it will definitely be a meal.
Okay, we have another question from, let me see. Okay, I think we're back. Sorry for that technical glitch again. Yeah, I think we there's a swamp, quite a thick papyrus thatch to our right. I guess that might be blocking the signal at some point. So we apologize for the disconnection again, but we are back. We just want to pick another question. I saw a question from someone called Brian. Yeah, Brian. Brian Safari Guide, Safari Live Moments. He's saying, thanks, Jonathan, for the exciting narration. And a question to Davis. Please tell us which other countries should, and what's the status, what's the conservation status in those countries?
So the shoebill in other countries, actually, I think Uganda has the least number if you look at average per country. But we are where we have the advantage is that we are the most reliable and the best place where you can see the shoebill in Africa. The other countries are Sudan, South Sudan, the Democratic Republic of Congo, Tanzania, some patches of Kenya, Rwanda, down to Zambia. So, but Uganda offers the best chance to see the shoebill, closer and more accessible than other places.
Okay. Nicholas is saying in the chat that there is no audio. Help me confirm if you can't hear us. We want to make sure that you can hear us. Network glitches that we've had so far. I hope we've not had an issue with sound coming through. But in case that's happening, please let us know in the comment box and we'll try to rectify it as fast as possible.
Quaco heron. Oh, there it goes flying off. We are left with the little egret. All white, black bill, black legs, and yellow feet. They are not visible right now, but when it gets into a clearing or when it flies off, you should be able to see the yellow feet. There it goes, the yellow feet. Good. We have a cattle egret as well, with the yellow bill. Another purple heron, very well camouflaged.
If you are just joining us, we are streaming live from Mabamba Swamp, and we are currently on the lookout, on the search for the Shoebill. Of course, there are quite a number of other feathery treasures along the route, but high on our priority today is that great bird, the Shoebill. If you just joined, welcome. Good afternoon, good evening, good morning, depending on where you are tuning in from. We hope you'll have a good time with us this evening. Yeah, so keep those questions coming. And as you do, we do have a quiz for you. So I guess we'll just flash that on the screen. Just as we continue with the search, you can also respond to the quiz. Yeah, so that's the quiz. It's a fun quiz, and the question is, why do gray-crowned cranes sometimes stand on just one leg? Yeah, so respond in the chat with what you think is the right answer. Don't take it too serious. Yeah, so respond to the fun quiz. Later on in the broadcast, we'll flash the answer to the question, and we'll see whether you got that right or not. Otherwise, thanks again for joining us. Continue to enjoy this broadcast. Roland, we see you. You're tuned in from Kisoro. Thanks for joining us.
Kingfisher flying off.
Okay, so we are going into a spot that has a network dip. So in case we go offline, please just hang around. We'll try to go online again in when we get reception. Just in case we disconnect, just note that we are going into a spot that has not the best of network reception. So please do bear with us. Okay, welcome back. Welcome back. Yeah, we'd like to take a few more of your questions as we continue to search. Yeah, I see Nicholas is saying I'm not leaving. Thanks for keeping with us and braving the not so nice internet connection. But it's beautiful out here. The weather is very chill. if we kept quiet for a moment, you would listen to nature's chorus. And it's always beautiful and peaceful being out here on a Saturday afternoon. And thank God for the internet that we're able to stream live from the bush for your eyes and ears. Thanks for joining us. And I will hand over to Davis in a while. As you continue to send through your questions, I'll hand over to Davis, and then he'll give us a plan of our next course of action.
Yes, so we have been informed that there is another spot to try. So in our search, as is with nature, we just keep trying out the channels and see if we are lucky to see it in these sites. So we have been informed of another spot to check. So we are going to try this other spot and see if we are lucky. We might find it there. We might find it having disappeared. But that is nature, and we can only hope to get it.
All right, and as we do that, we'd like to remind you, we do have a quiz question that's running. I'll just flash it on the screen again. Where is it? There it is. Yeah, so do let us know your answer in the comment box. I did see a couple of responses already. Yeah, so please keep those coming. But also your questions as well. The best part of this excursion is being able to respond to your questions, respond to your comments, as if you're seated on this boat like we are. Real time, and of course from a seasoned guide like Davis, who took off time to jump onto this excursion with us, respond to your questions, tell us about this particular destination, and help us lead the search to find this great bird, which we hope we'll see soon. So keep tuned. Don't leave yet. We're not ones to give up. So yeah, do keep around. Eddie Tours Africa is saying, "What's up, guys? Thanks for the trip. You're most welcome. Thanks for joining us as well." Yeah, Davis, there's a question from Uganda Waka again. Wow, Uganda Waka is quite active in the chat. Thanks for joining us. Uganda Waka is asking, what does one need during the excursion?
What you need is yourself, some money for the canoes that we're on. You'll be joined with a local guide who will take you on this excursion. Rain gear in case of change of weather. You need to protect yourself not to get wet. And yeah, and the love for nature and enthusiasm.
Okay, then I see a comment from Amos. I guess this was from earlier, from that footage of the Shoebill chick. He enjoyed the sound, the sound that it was making. Thanks, Amos. We enjoyed it as well, and it's quite nice that we are able to share some of that really exclusive footage with you. For guys that have just joined, I think we'll just play that clip again, just so you know exactly what Amos is talking about. So please enjoy. So David, someone is asking, what is the action that the chick is doing? Are you able to tell?
So I believe the chick is cooling off as other water birds do, like the cormorants and pelicans. As a way of cooling off, they will open their bills and vibrate their throats.
Interesting. Feels like going back to school. It's quite a lot of learning when you're out here in the bush. All right. I think we head to that
Next
spot.
side, yeah.
Oh, there's a question. What is the lifespan of a shoebill?
Shoebills are believed to live up to 35 years of age.
Wow, that's quite interesting. Do we have any shoebills in captivity?
There are some shoebills in captivity. Yes, we do have shoebills in captivity. There's some at the Wildlife Education Center and in zoos across the world as well.
Okay, now in light of conservation and the UN Sustainable Development Goals, it might be interesting to find out what interaction there is between this ecosystem and the communities that live around here. Are you able to tell us or kind of paint a picture of what that kind of relationship is like?
Yes, so the shoebill, the habitat of the shoebill in this community, unfortunately falls within the fishing grounds of the community. So they live side by side with the fishermen of the community, and they are able to navigate and avoid each other and not have any sort of encounters with them. The fishermen are understanding. They do not fish in designated tourist areas around in the swamp. They fish in more open waters and avoid such areas as we've been navigating through where the shoebill can be seen. It is a combined effort working with the community to conserve the swamp. It's one of the success stories that our country boasts of in terms of community engagement, community and wildlife interaction. They have successfully maintained the swamp for the shoebill, thereby preserving other species as well.
Okay, that's interesting. I think let's get going.
Yeah.
Just before it gets dark, so that we stand the best chance to see that particular individual being told.
That was the call of the whistling duck, white-faced whistling duck.
We have someone asking, how long does the search usually take?
So the search can last from 30 minutes to 3 hours, depending on where the shoebills are and how easy it is to navigate the channels to get to that point. So it could take as short as 30 minutes and as long as 3 hours. have a girl on an island with its leg raised. So, as the question with the quiz, why do they raise their legs? Okay. A local guide is informing us that he has seen it. So we shall be following him and checking out the spot that he has seen. Okay, so we have been told that the shoebill has been seen. We are looking for it. All right. There we go. That is Shoebill. Looks like it is trying to hunt. It feeds on lungfish, catfish, frogs, monitor lizards, young crocodiles, snails. Yes, as you can see, this is what differentiates this bird from all other species, even from the scientific name, which is Balliniceps rex, which also it's sometimes called a whalehead, which is where Balliniceps comes from, and rex because of its prehistoric nature. This shoebill mates once every 5 years, lays eggs, about between 1 to 3 eggs, and of these only one usually survives to adulthood, either hunted or either killed by predators like the monitor, or by the infants, by the stronger infants. And of course the parents will stay to watch, because it is tiresome to look after more than one chick, so the adults tend to feed the more dominant chick and leave the other one to fend for itself. Oh, yes. We have just seen it. Oh my God, wow. It has just picked up a kill. Oh my God. This is something that is rarely seen. Oh my God. As you can see, it has picked up lungfish. And this, as you can see, it uses that hook, to grab hold of the fish as it removes all the vegetation, so that it can eat the fish whole. Okay. We got our target. We have seen something that very few people see. It is very difficult to actually find a shoebill that has successfully hunted. We have been able to see that today. Hopefully, next time when you decide to come to Mabamba Swamp, you may be as lucky as us to have seen this majestic prehistoric bird hunting as well. So, thank you all for those who have joined us today and on this journey. Would like for this was to make sure that you can also get interested and come here and enjoy the sights that we have enjoyed today and maybe more. As every time you come here, it will always be a different experience. I'll hand over back to Jonathan, and but otherwise, thank you all, and this is it.
I think he deserves a round of applause. Let's give him a round of applause here. I was holding my breath. That was beautiful. Well, thank you so much for joining us. Quite coincidentally, we had to cut the sighting short because our batteries are running really, really low. But we'd like to thank each and everyone that joined us this afternoon, which is quickly becoming evening. We hope you had a beautiful stay with us. And let us know, do you want us to do this a bit more often? There are any particular sites that you'd want to be spotlighted in a similar fashion? Do let us know in the comment box below. But just before we end, we'll flash the answer to the quiz question and then we'll wrap things up. But again, thank you so much for joining us, and wherever you are watching from, do have a beautiful rest of your weekend and a great week ahead. Yeah, so as we said, it's a fun quiz. I know some people took it too seriously. Why do grey cranes sometimes stand on just one leg? Well, our humorous version of a response would be because if they tried to stand with a second leg, they would definitely fall over. Well, good night, good morning, good afternoon, depending on where you are tuning in now. But once again, thank you so very much for joining us. Now we'll begin our slow sail back to our docking point, and then we'll take our journey back to Kampala. But be sure to hit that like button, share this link through your networks. There might be people that might want to experience this stunning sighting that we've had at the end of this long search. So be sure to share the link in your networks, and let's spread the news about Mabamba and about Destination Uganda together. Good night.